All right, we back, man. I-64 Sports Podcast. We've been in a hiatus, but we're back getting ready for baseball season. Yep. We're here at the Norfolk Baseball Academy for the inaugural 757 High School Baseball Media Day with my man, Coach Gordon from Maury.
Yeah, man.
Happy to have you here.
Appreciate you, man. Love what y'all doing, man. When you hit me up, man, I was like excited. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be cool, man.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, me and Coach Gordon, we got a kind of prior relationship. I'd say we've kind of been touching bases off and on for years, man, about doing something baseball wise.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that you came to me to do it because it's something that I wanted to do this year. So
absolutely, man.
I think it was a really nice event. What you think?
It was really, really good, man. Literally nothing but positive feedback, man. I think. People didn't know what to expect,
right?
But when they came in, they saw the setup. Obviously, Norfolk Baseball Academy hosted it. It's a perfect spot. If you're going to do something baseball-wise, why not do it in a baseball facility? You know what I mean? And we set it up very, very nicely, man. And I think, like I said, they were happy to see, exactly what it was. It looked professional, obviously. Even though it was the first time doing something like this, it went off very, very smooth. Right. And I think everybody agreed. I'm sure I'm gonna get a million texts tonight, emails or whatever, saying great job, man.
Nice.
So yeah, man, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate Blake Dooley from NBA, man. It's cool.
Right.
It's cool.
And honestly, to be honest, this actually is my first media day.
Yeah.
It's actually the first media day I've hosted.
Let's be real. I mean, again, I think that's the good thing about it. To be the first, to have, and again, a lot of these people, the coaches or whatever, they've been around, they've been around a long time. A lot of these guys in the room today, they've been around a long time, gone through, even when, from the pilot or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But they've been around, and for them to, still come out to something, to one of these where never happened before or whatever, you know what I mean? A media day, especially for baseball.
Right.
I'm sure they told me, this is awesome. So it's cool.
Right.
It's cool.
Just kind of have hosted kind of in your backyard at Norfolk Baseball Academy, man.
Well, that's what you do, man. You don't go somewhere else. If you're going to do something, you go and you keep it at home, man. Yeah. So I'm a Norfolk boy, man. This is what it is.
Man, Maury sports program is really taking off. I mean, you got basketball state champs, football state champs. You guys, you coming
guys,
up,
track guys, state champs, state champ diver.
Right.
Man, it's impossible to keep up with these dudes, man. It really is, man. It's, from Plummer, from McCain to E-Man, you know what I mean? Like all these coaches, all these athletes at Maury, man, it's literally, it's tough to keep up with these guys, man. They're amazing, man.
What is it like being in that kind of coaching fraternity at Maury right now?
It's incredible, man. Like our AD, he has us, all the out of season coaches, you know what I mean? So we all work the other events. So again, I was just at the basketball game. Okay. I'm announcing the basketball game. Jerry is there, being helping out with everything or whatever.
Right.
Softball coach is there, helping out. So he keeps it to where we're all together at most of the events as much as you can, much as you can. Same thing with the football games. Games, I'm in the booth, helping out or whatever, either calling or spotting, whatever the case may be. But we're all there. So we're actually, for the most part, as much as we can be. Whereas if I had to guess, man, we're probably as tight-knit as there is around.
And honestly, I mean, you guys all kind of came up together. I mean, when you look at Maury's football team wasn't dominant, the baseball program wasn't dominant. So you guys have all risen kind of together.
Literally, I think I'm the, in terms of, I think the tennis coach has been there obviously longer than me. But other than that, man, I don't want to stick my foot in my mouth, but I'm probably one of the elder statesmen, as far as the sports program is concerned. I've been there, I was coaching JV before I was coaching varsity or whatever, so I've been there since 2012.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I've seen, obviously I've seen McKay, Doree come in, and I've seen Brandon come in, I've seen the softball coach come in or whatever, you know what I mean, and see their success or whatever. So yeah, man, it's been the come up has been real.
Gotcha. So does that add pressure to you to kind of keep the ball rolling?
Every day. And, again, it's good pressure. You know what I'm saying? It's good pressure. But, them dudes, like I said, man, them dudes go. Brandon is I get to watch him coach. I mean, every home game, man. He's good, man.
Yeah.
He's good. I get to see Doree, game plan, for all his games, man. He's good, man.
Yeah.
These dudes are good. E-Man, the way he pushes his girls and his boys on the track team, man. It's they listen, they respond, they love him. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
So, and again, I'm a baseball coach, man. So it's not. Let's be real. It's not like the other sports. You know what I mean? It's a different dynamic. But even with that, I feel like I get the same same kind of output from my guys as they do, just in the baseball way. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Being at Maury, man. Obviously, people don't really respect Norfolk as a baseball town. When you first got there, what was it like?
So, like I said, with me being in the JV coach before, and then I was actually at Norview for a couple years before that as well. And again, I'm a Granby grad or whatever. I'm Norfolk all the way. So I've heard it all my life, in terms of Norfolk baseball, et cetera, et cetera. But I'll be honest with you, man. Like I said, there's a reason why all these guys were here today. It's because they, to my face at least, you know what I mean? They respect me, they respect me. They to a certain extent, I'm sure they like me, you know what I mean? So the respect is there, and they know, just like I know when they step on the field, they know when we step on the field, we're gonna be tough, you know what I mean? Us and Granby, it is what it is. Hopefully the other schools are going to be on the come up as well, which I think they are. They got good coaches with Mark Young,
right?
That care. Thad Berry, he cares. I
actually went to school with Mark Young. I went to Granby with Mark Young.
There you go. Yeah, Mark was a beast back then. Baseball wise. So yeah, man, we got dudes that care. You know what I mean? That I'm sure that we're going to want to build up the programs or whatever. And like I said, we're Butler at Granby has been there for the longest part of it. You know what I mean? So he's kind of spearheaded that part of it. And he's always had that. Be honest, he's always had that chip on the shoulder. Like Norfolk baseball is. I want to make it. I want it to be what's talked about as well, you know what I'm saying? So just kind of trying to follow that up and make sure that it is. And I think we're doing it. We're doing it now.
But now, where can we continue that with the next generation?
Man, we have to get to the younger kids, baseball wise, man. And hopefully it happens, man, a little bit more than it has. I've been in talks with the city. I take past 4 years, I've taken a team for the city in the RBI league.
Right, absolutely.
I've taken them to the regionals, the RBI regional tournament the past 4 years. I'm not planning on going again next year as well. But it needs to start. Those are 13 to 15-year-olds. You know what I mean? It needs to start younger. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just what has to happen in order for us to continue to grow it more. And I think this place is the key. There's other indoor facilities in Norfolk, but this place specifically caters to baseball in Norfolk specifically.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hell, it's in the name. You know what I mean? So that's where I think it's has to start to even make it bigger than it already is.
And for those that don't, because I heard you mention the RBI program, but for those that don't quite know what it is, could you give us like a brief rundown?
RBI stands for Rebuilding Baseball in the Inner City, and it's sponsored by Major League Baseball. And that's again we're in Norfolk. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So it gives the kids that are in the less fortunate areas a chance to experience the sport. Baseball is expensive, man. I say it all the time, man. It's not like basketball where you can you roll the ball out there, you got 2 hoops and you're good to go. You know what I mean? You can you could go out there and have a full blown practice game, whatever the case may be. Football is always well sponsored, no matter where you go, you know what I mean? But baseball is different, man. Gloves are expensive. One baseball costs $5, you know what I mean? Bats are $300, $400, you know what I mean? Gloves are $300, $400. To put on a baseball program, it just takes so much money. So that has always been the downside to trying to build a baseball program. Again, especially in a city like Norfolk, man. So that's what RBI tries to do as best as they can. It's still hard, you know what I mean? Even with the backing of Major League Baseball, it's just still hard. But they're going to continue to try, and I do as much as I can. I would love to do more. Hopefully it happens. Again, I talk to the city guys all the time. So hopefully we can make it better.
I mean, but just being real, I mean, baseball is not a sport that's predominantly for blacks. When you talk about a city like Norfolk or other any city, it's just tough getting that participation.
No matter what. But the crazy thing is, let's be real, we're so athletic. You know what I mean? It's such and again, you can look at Major League Baseball. Most of the top players, man, if you list them 1 through 10, 1 through 20, you're going to see black and brown all through that. You know what I mean? All through that. Whether they're black, whether they're Dominican, whatever, Latin, whatever the case may be. That's what translates. So it's not like they can't be. I truly feel like the opportunity just needs to be presented broader and wider. You know what I mean? Because if it gets broader and wider, man, I think the sky's the limit, man. I really do.
I've always said the rise of social media can help with the
100%.
spread of baseball, because I think when you see, like, with basketball, you see all the highlight tapes and you see all of that stuff, with basketball. Absolutely. I think if baseball can introduce some of the same stuff, I think you'll see more kids that'll participate.
Listen, man, obviously social media is huge, you know what I mean, in terms of promoting whatever you're trying to do, man, and you're absolutely right, man. If we can figure out a way, like, I've made a couple of, quote unquote, what do they call it, hype videos now, you know what I mean, preseason warm-up, whatever the case may be. Right. And we literally have a guy now that, is recording the entire games, for us or whatever. My boys are the first ones. They hit a home run in the game. I need that video. I need that video.
Yep.
I need that video. You know what I mean? So you're absolutely right, man. We gotta get that out. And again, this is one of the reasons why we connected, man. We gotta get that coverage. Just has to be broader, man. It has to be bigger. It has to be broader, because football's great. Like I said, I love football. I play football. Basketball's great. I love it, man. There's nothing. Actually, basketball is the best high school sport to go, in my opinion, to go watch live.
Right.
Man, it's nothing like, there's nothing like going to watch that. But in terms of producing college level athletes that go and play college at the next level, it's more baseball players than any other sport. Yeah, man. I mean, it's
but you don't really hear about it, right?
You don't hear about it, which is just the coverage, man. Like that's the biggest part of it, And again, there's other issues there, man. College baseball, it's not like the other sports where you get a full, they got a million scholarships. Or baseball, you only get 11.7 scholarships. That's all the baseball team has,
right?
As opposed to 80, 70, 80 for a D1 football program, or all 15 for a basketball program. You know what I mean? Baseball is 11.7. They have to split that up amongst 25 players on the roster.
Right.
So it's tough.
And I know that's something we talked about when we talk about Trey when we committed to Miami.
Yep.
It's like, hey, man, is that Miami offer going to be there your senior year?
He knows the biggest thing that he knows is that he has to continue to work. He has to continue to get better, because you're absolutely right. It's there now, but it's there, I'm sure, just like anything else. He has to make sure that he continues to get better. You know what I mean? Like that, it ain't going to be there if he just stays the same. He knows that. His family knows that. Everybody knows that. But that's the nature of baseball. That's exactly what it is, man. They'll offer you if they feel like you are it right now. But you just got to stay it. Yeah. You got to stay that.
You feel like Trey could be one of those next level athletes?
No doubt about
it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. His work ethic is, I never like to say like nobody works better. There's always somebody that works hard.
Right.
But he works, man. He works. He puts in the work. He takes care of his body. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes that is unheralded for a 14-year-old, 15-year-old or whatever. It's different, man. And he's different. You can see him. He kind of carries himself a little bit different. You know what I mean? He's very, very quiet, very, very polite. But he's a dog when he gets on the field, man. Absolutely.
Very confident.
Very, very confident. He's confident up here, man, and that's what he's starting to got better at as well. He's actually confident on the field as well now. And I think this year, just seeing the way he's been working, man, I think it's going to be special.
Yeah. So you have 3 other guys, Kennedy and Bashir, a couple other guys here today.
Kennedy is the same way. He's a junior. Trey's a sophomore. Kennedy's a junior. Everybody talks about with Kennedy, man. He's the only baseball player in his family. Everybody talks about his family. Everybody knows that story. His oldest brother, turned down the scholarship to University of Richmond to go to film school. I don't know if his oldest brother was Darius.
Norview. Oh, okay, yeah. Go to NYU.
Yeah, he was
okay.
Yep.
I remember that story.
Yeah, so he was he was a full ride to Richmond. Said no. And obviously, I think everybody knows is the middle brother Sheridan, at Clemson or whatever. So he's in the same mold. He's just waiting for that right opportunity, man. And he's a beast too, man. Like, we've been telling him that you just continue to work, man. Continue to work, and it's gonna come to you, man. And then my other 2 guys that I had here today, both seniors as well. One's going to ODU to be a pitcher or whatever. He made a jump from the fall of his junior year till now. And just working on his body, man, and man, he's made a huge jump. He's so much better now, man. He's really good. And then the other one who's going to Washington Lee, he actually got a 1590 on his SAT.
Wow.
He missed one math question that he got wrong.
Whew, that's tough.
He's got a 4.65 and he's like fifth in his class in the class. That's Maury. If you ever need what is Maury like? Whatever academic. My dude has a 4.65 right now, and he's fifth in the class. How can you have higher than a 4.65? I don't even understand. But that's the kind of kid he is. And then again, the work he puts in, man, is unbelievable. He does his work, obviously, but he does his baseball work too, man. Works on his body as well. So that's what I was talking about earlier with the senior leader, the leadership that we have. It's not just the seniors. It's Trey leading by example. It's Kennedy leading by example as well. Leadership's great, man.
Yeah, that's a good thing, man. Yeah, and like I said, just talking to your team today, talking to yourself, it's really seemed like it might be the year for you guys. Like I don't want to speak too much on it, but
you never know, man. But like I say, what else are you supposed to say? Like,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, the goal is to make it. Like, the goal is to make it all the way. Play your last game in the last game of the season for everybody. That's the goal. And if that's not your goal, I just don't know what else what else are you trying to do, baseball wise. Right. So that's the goal. You know what I mean? I don't know what else you're trying to do.
Right.
So hopefully it goes, huh?
Gotcha. And I know we talked about passing of Coach Mitchell from Hampton, man. Just give us thoughts on that.
Like I said, man, I told I think I told Reese as well, man. Like, I didn't know him personally. I know his son. I've talked to his son more than I talked to him, who's the assistant coach at Norfolk State.
Okay.
Coach. Coach Mitchell has been coaching longer than, or almost as long as I've, been alive. Almost as long, you know what I mean? He's an absolute legend, especially over there, man. He's an absolute legend. He won't be replaced. You know what I mean? But I know that it's going to be tough for them. It's going to definitely be tough for them, man. Yeah. But hopefully, the only thing that he would want, and I know this, from talking to other people as well, he would want nothing but for them to go out and just continue to play as hard as he can, man. Like I said, I didn't know him personally, man, but coached against him. I've watched him coach a million times, man. They're in regional games, et cetera, man. He produced some really good players, man. So, and he's obviously well respected both on the baseball side and on the football side, on the football side as well. So, it's going to be that's a tough one for the baseball community, man. But just like anything else, man, they'll rally together, and I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, about a week away from the start of the season. How anxious are you?
I'm always anxious about baseball, man. This was actually, preparing for this was actually a good getaway, release or whatever. Took my mind off of, making sure that, and that's the good thing, man. Like they know exactly what they need to do, man. So I never needed to be right on them, et cetera, et cetera. They've gotten their work in, man. But now now that this is wrapping up, man, I know it's going to be all the way, man. So I'm ready now. I'm ready.
I felt like the night kind of got the juices started for everybody because, like at first everybody was kind of like nervous, like to see what was going on, and after a while people started talking, and I kind of looked to the back at people socializing. Yes. I'm like, okay, everybody's opening up.
Like somebody said it best, I think. It's one thing to come in and be a stuffy, question Q&A, blah 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 blah, but being able to, have a little bit of food, you know what I mean? Like that breaks the tension, you know what I mean? And for us to get, usually we don't get to see each other until either at a meeting or something like that, or right before a game, 5 minutes before a game when we're get to talk for a couple of minutes or whatever, and then boom, we're playing a game or whatever. Yeah. So this is something that was good in terms of the camaraderie of it or whatever, because I think for the most part, only a few guys don't really like each other or whatever, but for the most part, we're all pretty good. When it comes to baseball, we're all pretty good friends, man. And that was the good part of it.
Yeah, and that was one thing I loved seeing tonight. Like, it really seemed like you guys enjoyed being around each other. It wasn't a lot of ego.
The players were mingling. It wasn't just each players to themselves or whatever. They know each other from playing summer ball, things like that. So they get to catch up as well, man. So yeah, man, there's not a whole lot of egos, man, in the baseball world, man. I say that, man, we all have egos when we step onto the field, man. We all want to be the best. We all want to win. But when we step off the field, for the most part, man, it's always been pretty cordial, man. Pretty cordial.
That's good stuff. Great stuff. So, are you guys in spring break tournaments? I know one.
No, we're not going anywhere this year. We're staying home. I usually I was just having a talk about that with one of my parents or whatever. I usually leave it up to my seniors. I ask them. I say, yeah, what do you guys? It's your senior year. What do you guys want to do? They didn't want to go anywhere this year. They just wanted to stay home and play some games home, and then enjoy this, which is perfectly fine with me.
Right.
I know for 100%. Like last year we went to Charleston. Took off the year before that, but then 3 years before that, 3 straight years, we went to Florida. You know,
right.
So we do the same thing or whatever. We usually travel, but this year the seniors just didn't want to go anywhere, which is fine.
Right.
You know, no problem at all. So we'll play a couple games here. We'll actually play local teams. We'll play Indian River and Oscar Smith on that Monday and Tuesday spring break. Then I'll give them some time off and be able to refresh, rejuice, rejuvenate and go from there.
You. So I know a lot of the beach schools moved down to 5, Region 5 this year. Makes it tougher for you guys.
Tougher in the end, man. I tell everybody, though, man, it's not going to make a difference to us, in terms of the regular season, you know what I mean? We still got to play our district schedule and then, whatever out-of-conference games that we have. But that tournament gauntlet, man, it's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be insane. We're talking about Cox, FC, Granby, and Woodside. All 4 were regional qualifiers in 6A that come down. You know what I mean? Like, to go along with us and Hickory and Princess Anne and Salem, a bunch of, and Gloucester from the other side, they all were all regional qualifiers. This is going to be, it's going to be tough, man.
Right.
It's going to be tough. 1 through 10, they're taking 10 teams now, 1 through 10. Even those playing games are going to be ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough, man. Right.
What do you tell your guys coming into, knowing that it's going to be tougher than last year? Like, what are you telling your guys?
Oh, man, we got 1 game at a time, man. I am that coach. I'm just like, hopefully like, everybody else, man. I'm 1 game at a time, man. Tomorrow doesn't matter if we don't get through today, man. Get through today first, and then we'll take we'll get the next one, and then we'll do that one, and then just trying to go 1-0 on the day. That's literally the only way we can really do it. Now, don't get me wrong. Me as a coach, I think ahead or whatever, but them. We got to play Tuesday, all right? We're going to practice, and we got to play Friday.
Right.
And then we got to play Tuesday. We got to get through each one first, man. That's what I tell them. The expectation is that we get through all those and get to the end, but we have to get the one in front of us first.
Got you. Well, after the end, we'll have our big event, which is 7x7 versus the world competition showcase in June, which will be in June at Norfolk State. Just talk about that a little bit, man. How excited are you to bring that to Norfolk?
So
another big event at Norfolk.
Yeah, man. That's going to be the big. Everybody asks me about that, man. They think it's one thing, they think it's another thing, or whatever.
Really
so I got to tell them, exactly what it is or whatever. But I'm excited to get working on that as well, man. We get the season started, we get in full swing, man, and then I am excited about that, man, because I kind of, like we've talked about or whatever, I kind of built it, and I told them, man, listen, we choose an all Southeastern district, an all Eastern district, all Tidewater, whatever you want to call it. They choose all those teams. Those teams never get to go play anybody.
Exactly.
They never go play anybody.
Right.
We don't know how good. Think about that, man. Think about the quote unquote the all Tidewater team actually strapping it on and going to get in and go play somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It just doesn't happen or whatever. So that's my, I think that's our vision with this thing is let's do that, man. Let's pick the best ones and let's go play somebody.
Right.
Let's have them go play somebody and get them to showcase that, man.
Right.
How cool is that?
That's dope.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the idea, man. And I think the interest in it is huge already, and I haven't even reached out to the. I think I told you this too, man. The senior one is going to be crazy. The underclassmen one is going to be even crazier because you're talking about freshmen, sophomores, and juniors.
Right.
Even crazier.
Right.
But you know what I think? Mark my words. The 7th graders and the 8th graders are going to be insane. And I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you why. From basketball, man. Let's be real. Are there anything crazier than young basketball parents?
No, it's
Let me tell you
exciting.
something. Baseball parents times 10. They love for their kid to be out there and in front of people and being, we say it all the time. Little Johnny's out there, showing off his talent to the world. Right. They love it. They're gonna go crazy over it, man. So it's gonna be great, man. Obviously I'm prepared for it to make a million enemies or whatever, but it is what it is.
Join the club. You're like a media guy now.
I'm cool with it though. I know what I signed up for, man.
Right.
So I'm definitely excited about it, man. I think it's going to be great. I think, like I said, and everybody who's heard about it, man, feels like, this is going to be awesome.
I've definitely gotten a lot of messages. I'm like, I got to forward that to Coach Gordon. And it's like, I don't want to decide who's going to make the team. No.
It's going to be tough, man. But it won't. We say, Coach Gordon or whatever, but I'm gonna talk to a million different people, man. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Or whatever.
Right.
I'll put my name on it. I ain't got no problem with that. that, but you know what I mean. Like it won't just necessarily be an arbitrary. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
It'll be cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Me too, Coach. Yeah. Thank you for this evening, man. I think it was a wonderful day. Definitely was a wonderful day, man. Absolutely. I look forward to doing some great things with you.
Absolutely, man.
Seeing some great things for Maury baseball, and just continue to do great things, Coach. Like I said, people love you from what I've seen tonight, and let's just continue to grow and do some great things together.
I appreciate you too, man. Like I said, we all need to start somewhere with an outlet or whatever. And like we said, we've talked about it a couple of times, man. There's no better, nothing better than, obviously going down the field and you want to win. But the other side of it is helping, a kid, if we help 1, 2, or 500 kids, get to another level where they want to get through baseball, using it as a vessel, because that's what I tell my boys all the time. Excuse me. Use baseball as a vessel to get to wherever else you want to go, if that's if that's what you want to do, what I mean. So if you can help them, use that and get to wherever they want to be, man, that's all I care about. So we got to get them covered. Gotcha. We got to get them seen. We got to make sure that people know who they are as much as we possibly can, and then see what happens.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, this is Jamal Hawkins, I-64 Sports. Joined again by Coach Gordon from Maury Baseball, and we out.
All right, man.